Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new review of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 11 Episode 10. Affairs and Accidents, okay? Child, we're going to get into it as we get into it. I am so sorry I am late. Child, listen. Life is happening. I'm a little bit swamped, but y'all know we gonna get into it as we get into it. So when the episode first opens up, all the ladies are getting packed for the trip. And let me tell y'all something. I must speak poor because when she said La Quinta, honey, the only La Quinta I know is the La Quinta Inn and Suites. Okay. I was like, no, where's La Quinta, child? So we see Dorit and she's trying to figure out what she needs to bring with her. Okay. I don't know why she needs so many clothes for 2 days, but honey, that's what she needs. We know how Dorit likes to do. Jagger, who is her son, is thinking the exact same thing as me because he's like, Mommy, why do you need so many clothes for only 2 days? So then Dorit is talking to her assistant and she said, look, I've been in sweats. She's like, I'm happy to get into something sparkly, festive, fun. Dorit, honey, it's been 2 weeks, but I guess she's been going through withdrawals. Child, I'm like, girl, you have literally been sick. What were you supposed to do? Walk around in a full-length ball gown and Fendi all up and through the COVID streets? Girl, goodbye. So Kyle is already there and Sutton is sitting in front of an empty suitcase trying to figure out what she's going to do. And she's on the phone with Kyle. Kyle said, Erika is staying in a hotel because she just needs some privacy. Oh, okay. So she agreed to go on a trip but doesn't want to answer any questions. That's what I'm gathering. Okay. Because from this foolery that she presented us in the end of this episode, Charlie do not want to hear Erika speak anymore throughout the season. So then Sutton said, I called to check on her, and then they flashed back to Erika having her breakdown. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. In the next scene, Erika is at her clubhouse. It's an expense she said that she didn't need, and she found another person to take over the lease. So they're walking around and it's empty now. And I thought this was a commercial space, but it seems like it's more of an apartment or a condo because she said this is the bedroom. So I was a little bit confused, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. She said, she hasn't received any single payment from Tom, despite what people think, since she's left. Erika, let me be clear, lady. Please stop telling us what you have not received. The only payments we care about is those needed for the victims, honey, allegedly. But we know it ain't alleged because we know the victims are still waiting on their money. So we don't want to keep hearing about you not receiving a single payment from Tom. Okay, it happens. So, moving forward. She said, she's on a budget. It's challenging at times. Sometimes it's just horrible. Try being one of us regular folks, honey, or the single moms that have to decide if they will eat or if their kids will eat. That's what's terrible. You and this facade that you're putting up right here, honey, please. I'm not buying it. Let me tell y'all something. I once had hit rock bottom, okay? My money was so low that I was literally like, okay, let me buy a hot and ready from Little Caesars. Okay, everybody knows it's only $5, and that's basically what I had, okay, to allow us both to eat that night. So please spare me. I do not want to hear about you having to close down this big clubhouse that you created for yourself. You were creating expenses. $40,000 for makeup, a clubhouse to feel important, singing songs about how it's expensive to be you. Child, you put the pressure on the man to keep bringing the money in so that you can keep up with being Erika Jane. Girl, anyway, then they show all the memories, honey. Thanks for the memories. Moving forward. Kyle is at her La Quinta house and Garcelle FaceTimed her and she's showing Garcelle around the house, right? The home is really beautiful. It really is. So then Rinna and her high kicks show up. Then Dorit shows up as well. And then Kathy. Dorit and Kyle share a hug, because of how COVID and the antibodies and everything, and they both had COVID, so they feel it's okay to hug. So Kyle is telling them Garcelle didn't feel comfortable staying in the house. Listen to me. I do not blame Garcelle. They gave us this 14-day timeline, okay, but who really knows, okay, because things change every day. Per the CDC, I don't know if I'm supposed to wear a mask, not wear a mask, let children get a vaccine, don't get a vaccine. Am I supposed to be in small spaces with people? Am I supposed to be 6 feet apart? Is 6 feet still too close? Is 14 feet better? I don't know. Okay. So to me, I will be right there with Garcelle and let you help us air out before I come over there. Okay. Because the way my germaphobe is set up, honey, I wouldn't be able to do it no matter what happens. So she ended up switching Kathy and Garcelle because Kathy was supposed to originally stay in the hotel and Garcelle was supposed to stay in the house. But because Garcelle was a little bit iffy, she switched them out. Sutton is staying in the house, and I think Crystal is staying in the hotel, so the two of them won't be together. And I'm like, oh, that is so smart, because we do not need a repeat of the foolery that they like to do when they get together. So then Kathy comes in with this giant candle. I'm like, oh, I like that. I actually liked it. I'm like, I need one of those. And once again, these rich heifers are trying to figure out who is going to bring their luggage in. It is a constant struggle. Ladies, let me explain something to you. You bring it, you carry it. Okay, bring it in and carry it on up. Stop bringing 15 bags to hang out with each other in these god awful sweatsuits. So anyway, so Kyle is like, this isn't the Waldorf Astoria. Okay, there's no bellman, so y'all gonna have to carry your own bags. Crystal shows up and then Sutton follows her around. I'm like, oh, okay, Sutton, please don't go anywhere near Crystal. And please don't go anywhere near anyone's room, child. If they have a jacket, a coat, some pajamas, some house shoes, whatever it is, please leave it in the common area, okay? Let them gather it themselves. So the driver for Dorit is helping her bring in the groceries and the luggage. And he probably was like, ladies, get these things so I can leave, honey, because he was sitting out there for a long time. And I know he probably was thinking, Dorit, okay? I need you to get these things so I can go ahead on, child. So he brings them in. But the thing I was thinking about is, I hope she tipped him. Now, I think Dorit is, has enough class to know that you tip people when they do things. But, child, you just never know, honey. The more money, the cheaper they are. So Sutton and Crystal are in the same space, and they seem okay. She said Sutton texted her because, of what they went through or whatever. But she's still happy to be in a hotel room with a lock. Honey, woo! And we are happy for you. And I am happy that Crystal versus Sutton is over. Child, I'm so happy. So in the next scene, Lisa is texting Erika, and they start talking about what happened with Tom. So then Dorit told them that all the assets were frozen, right? Because it was determined that at least $2 million was used inappropriately. Honey, more than that, allegedly. $2 million? Child, that's just what she spent last month on glam. But y'all only heard that from me because I ain't the one to gossip. So Lisa is like, when they freeze assets, does that mean you can't touch your money? Rinna, no, it means they're giving you extra money. Of course that means you can't touch your money. Girl, that further let me know that you were not a part of the sorority that Sutton's daughter is a part of. They said you had to be a genius. Honey, I don't got time to play with Rinna. So then Dorit said, well, she had her money frozen once too when PK had a lawsuit, but this seems more scary. And is, okay? Definitely it is. So they're asking for a medical evaluation of Tom because they don't think he is grasping what's happening. Dorit says she had her money frozen once when PK had a lawsuit too, but this seems a lot more scary. And is, okay? So they're asking for a medical evaluation of Tom because they don't think he grasped what's actually happening. Now, I'm going to reserve my opinion of that, but okay. Dorit gets her phone to read them the article, right? And as they're reading the article of the house, Erika is arriving at the hotel, right? So we see her wandering around, and Lisa was like, the most disturbing part is the $2 million that was supposed to go to the orphans. Well, we know you gonna stick beside her, Rinna, okay? It's all disturbing. That may be the most disturbing part for you, but the most disturbing part for me is the fact that I have watched Erika for several years, and I've been enamored by her, her beauty and her glam and her ability to have all of these things, and to see exactly how she's getting it. That's the disturbing part. And let me just say this. Even if Erika did not know then, okay, she's aware now. And there has been absolutely no sympathy or anything, even through this season. At the time of this filming, she knew what was going on. But all we hear her say is, I'm so sad because now I'm in a 2,000 square foot closet instead of a 10,000 square foot closet. I'm so upset because I have to pump my own gas. Tom hasn't given me money in months, but I walked away. Girl, goodbye, honey. You don't care about nobody but yourself. And that's just the bottom line. In the next scene, Kyle and Rinna are being pervs over this eggplant child. We know. So Kyle was like, if anything that big came out of me, it better need diapers and a bottle. I know that's right, child. Honey, you don't want all that, child. That's just a little bit too much, okay? I'm just saying, that's a little bit too much. So then Rinna says she likes a nice cucumber. All right, Rinna, TMI, child. Crystal and Sutton are over there playing nice, and then Rinna notices, right? Because she's like, look at them. So Kyle said, it's all fun and games till someone returns a coat. Kyle, don't even mention it, okay? You started it the first time, you and Kathy called, and then Kathy started it when she called her Thomasina. Child, So then Kyle tells us that her and Kathy are back on track. Erika shows up, right? This is when the dramatics are about to ensue. She walking all slow and dramatic. She's not in there 5 minutes before the waterworks start. I'm like, girl, let's get to it, honey. Let's get into it if you're going to get into it. She's like, it's not okay. And it won't be for a long time. Honey, agreed. It definitely won't be for a long time till we get all this sorted out and see what's where and who's what. And when is this money going to be given to these victims? Child, anyway, she's like, every time I wake up, it's bad news. All bad, all the time. Imagine how they feel. Okay, and I'm not letting up. Imagine how they feel. So Rinna is like, you look at Erika Jane and think she's set for life, but you never know. So she's telling them it's hard because she was married to him for 20 years. Hold on, let me put my Erika Jane voice on. It's hard because I was married to the man for 20 years. Girl, anyway, hush. His attorney has said he's not well, which is what she was saying as well. And then they flash back to her and Kyle at the park. Listen to me. I feel like it's mighty convenient that he's falling apart when just a few episodes back, you told Garcelle he was a workhorse. So I'm not seeing the correlation between him falling apart and him being a workhorse. Now, I don't know if you were just trying to be mum's the word because you didn't want things to get out, but everything you say it's not adding up. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm so drained. Girl, anyway, she's like, I'm getting dragged into it. So Doris said, it's normal not to know all of your husband's business dealings. Now, I do feel like that is normal. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I feel like, yes, there are certain aspects of your husband's business that you may not know because it is his business. But if your husband is a farmer and you live in a $9 million home and you're getting trips on private jets, something ain't adding up. Honey, ain't that much milking a cow in the world. Okay, so I'm just saying, child, you might not know, but certain things, they kind of don't make sense. Kathy said, marriage is trust, because if my husband gave me 50 pages to sign, I'm signing it and I'm not reading it. Well, Kathy, that is why you are the comedic relief, because let me tell you something, not I. Not I, said the cat. I'm reading every single page. Do y'all hear me? And let me tell y'all something else. It's not about trust. It's about being aware. Okay? You got to keep your cat eyes on, honey. Child, I'm not just going to sign something because you said sign it. Oh, no, ma'am. So while they're talking, Crystal and Kyle are in the kitchen cooking. Honey, I wouldn't let Kyle cook me anything. Not yet. I need a few more weeks, honey. No, you will not put your bare hands on my food that I have to eat. Oh, no, thank you. So she's telling Crystal that Erika Jane and Tom's relationship was kind of like a father and daughter type thing, and he was in charge. Okay, so that's even more of a reason why I think she knows, because he told her, look, I'm going to put this here. He told his daughter exactly what to do. There are documents saying money was equal in millions were put into her business, honey, allegedly. Kyle, I'm going to need you to just sit this one out. And bravo. This one clip you keep using of Tom being a little bit huffy, okay, please give it a rest, okay, because I ain't buying it, child. You show that one clip over and over and over, and we just supposed to go with it because y'all showing it, child. Please give it a rest, okay? In the next scene, Sutton and Erika Jane are talking, right? And she's telling us about how her dad shot himself 2 days before Christmas. And I was just thinking, wow, I don't think I would even be able to handle holidays the same after that. Like, you have to really be a strong person to make it through something like that. She said her daughter was 9 months old, and she said the rituals that they do, it keeps her going. And her mom was pissed because it was when she was set to retire. So her mom carries some type of resentment. Then we see her talking to Sutton, and Sutton was crying because she misses her dad. And her mom was like, look, your relationship with him and mine were two totally different things. I don't miss him. And I was like, dang, whew, child, her mama does not play. Do y'all hear me? But I really appreciated Sutton being so transparent and willing to share things with Erika. Now, do I think Erika received it? I don't know. She seems a little self-absorbed, but I was happy that Sutton actually shared it with her. And Sutton said, I like to talk about my dad because that makes me feel like he's still alive. And she shared this entire story with Erika, right? And so then Erika looks at her and goes, it all sucks. Girl, this is what you have to say after this lady shared with you. See, this is what I'm talking about right here, y'all. Sutton, don't even waste your breath, child. She said if I can survive my dad's traumatic death, she can survive as well. Honey, she sure can. She can survive the lies that she's living, allegedly. Everyone is going to change for dinner. Kathy is in the kitchen playing the maracas with this stale bread. Honey, Kathy play all day. Kathy plays too much. Rinna comes down in her sequin jump set. Okay, Rinna, honey, ready for Studio 54. All the ladies are like, oh, okay, while she sashays around the living room. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, if you don't sit down, honey. She's like, well, you got to wear it somewhere. Well, you know what? I guess with COVID, you got to steal your moments when you can. Kathy is carrying this oversized Louis Vuitton luggage up the stairs. And the way she was going up the stairs, I was thinking to myself, girl, what in the one step at a time is happening? She was carrying, if y'all have seen this episode, the way that Kathy was carrying that luggage up those stairs, child, I died. So Dorit helps her because Lord knows it was a struggle. So then they all gather at the table for dinner. Rinna and Erika are talking about their jacuzzis, right? So Erika said, I warmed mine for 3 days and I got the bill and I said never again. But I warmed my other one for 20 years and never looked at the bill once. Yeah, because y'all was just spending other people's money, allegedly. She's like, I've become too tight with money. She's like, everyone is saying now, is this who you've become? I asked the same question, but for a different reason. Moving forward. Let me tell y'all something. I cringe when I hear her speak about money. Even if it's just her saying she's saving the money, I still cringe. I don't like it, y'all. I don't like it. So while they're waiting to eat, Kyle is breaking every spice and seasoning she can find. And Kathy is like, Kyle has ADHD, HIJKL, and a P. Girl, what? Child, I cannot be bothered. So she asked Kathy to help her clean it up, right? She's like, you have a dust buster? Kyle was like, what is this, 1975? And let me tell y'all something. When she said it, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, not a dust buster. Child ain't about to play with you, Kathy. So Kyle is playing in the kitchen a little bit too much for me. Girl, come on, honey. People are hungry. And as she's trying to clean it up, Erika Jane comes in and she's like, where's the broom? I like sweeping. Y'all know what I was thinking? Isn't it funny how things us regular folk do all the time is like enjoyment for the privileged? Erika probably ain't picked up a broom in 20 years. So then we get to the table with the ladies where the lies are about to unfold, right? So Kyle is walking up and she was like, I just got a text from my daughter and she said Drake follows Lisa and I need to up my game. And I was thinking, now why in the world is Aubrey Graham following Rinna? She's like, I don't know why Drake followed me. His name is like Champagne Pappy or something like that. Rinna, it's definitely not Champagne Pappy. Okay, it's Champagne Poppy. And you know who Drake is, girl. Quit playing. So then Crystal was like, this is like mainstream pop culture. Like I would die if Champagne Poppy were following me. Crystal, let me find out. Let me find out you want to be in here involved with Cash Money. So then Kathy is talking about blowing out a candle because it's a lunar eclipse and all the negative energy will be cleansed. This is the next scene, right? So they slide it over to Erika. She blows it out like it's a candle on a birthday cake, which is about the extent of this candle's powers. Because let me tell you something. You cannot wish this away. It ain't happening. So she's like, at this point, I'll try anything except a confessional. I'm not confessing. See, this is the mess I'm talking about right here. Very inconsiderate. You're making jokes. It's not funny. It is not funny. Honey, I can't even find the jokes to bring you throughout this review. So if I can't find the jokes, honey, and I find the humor in everything, I don't think you should be joking at all, okay? Oh, my goodness. And we know that, honey. It's been proven that you won't be confessing by this little song and dance. So Erika starts talking again. Child, please be quiet. And Kyle asks, well, what happened with Erika Jane? I know it's expensive. And so Erika was just like, yeah, it's a little bit too expensive. I closed my clubhouse and all of that, right? She said, well, he's not giving you spousal support or anything. And they're like, no, because he asked to have her spousal support stopped, right? So Sutton is like, well, why doesn't he just get the divorce over with? So at least that part is done. So Erika was like, well, I don't think he's going to get anything out of it because the assets are frozen. So then Erika says he needs to turn in his bar card because he's not well. Well, honey, they'll take care of that for him in the pen. Okay, he's not going to have to turn it over. It will be taken. So you're fine. So Rinna said, the last time I saw him, he seemed fine. And still is, child. So then Erika said, his sole identity is being a lawyer. She said, the last few years I saw him declining. I think he was, mad. And then I think he was, sad. Girl, I think you are, lying. Child, goodbye. So Kyle was like, well, some people get mean when they have dementia. And so Crystal shares a story about how her dad was, and she said he was really brilliant, but then suddenly, his memory and things started to slip, and she was very upset about that. And it was really hard to watch her dad just basically disappear in front of their eyes, right? So Kyle said, yeah, but Tom stopped driving, right? Because he had that car accident like 3 years ago. Here comes the lies, y'all. Child, sit back and listen to this. So then she said, yeah, I told you about the car accident, but not the rest. Kyle said he broke his ankle, right? She's like, yeah, he broke his ankle as a result of the car accident. So Erika said, yeah, and he was also unconscious for 12 hours. Here go Dorit and Rinna. What? Oh my God, how? Girl, please. So she said, I know, because I found him. Now keep that in mind, because I found him. That's what she said. So she's like, yeah, and he also broke his collarbone and his clavicle bone and his nose bone and his tailbone. All the bones were broken, okay? So she had to basically put him back together again like Humpty Dumpty. But the story continues. Child, wait till Garcelle hears this. Baby Garcelle gonna be all over it, child. But y'all keep listening. So then she says, but that's not all. He drove off a cliff. Girl, goodbye. She said, I said he had an accident. That was the truth. I said he broke his ankle. That was true. This story, that is a lie. Child, this story was getting so outlandish. Kathy got up and started clearing the dishes. Kathy said, can I take that out of your way? Child, Kathy had enough. So she said, he was out of the car. She's like, there's a very windy road, and somehow Tom ended up here, and he drives behind the house, and he tumbles out of the car, and then he got up and he moonwalked back, and he met Michael Jackson and gave him a high five, and he brought Michael back to the house, but Michael's been dead for at least 30 minutes. Like, girl, what are you talking about? This story makes no sense. So then Sutton is like, this story is so confusing to me. Was he thrown from the car? Not thrown from the car? Is the car totaled? Girl, the story is a lie, allegedly. So she said, when he finally called me, I said, where you been? I just had assumed he was with another woman. Erika, just stop. Please stop. Stop insulting our intelligence. Quit playing in my face, girl. You just said, not 5 minutes ago, you found him. Now he called you. He drove off a cliff, but somehow he was able to get out of the car and then remain unconscious for 12 hours and call you when he was behind the house. Okay, child. Kyle said, what woman? So he was cheating on you? She's like, this is my life. Girl, let me tell you something. I'm really getting upset. I don't like people to play like I'm stupid. Don't do that. I do not like it at all. Kyle said, he's 81 and he's cheating on you. You're a trophy. He should treat you like you're a trophy. She said, after Yolanda divorced David, I looked through his phone. I saw everything. And he was so sloppy with it. Kyle is like, well, why didn't you leave? She's like, where am I going to go? Erika, you really think you are in the movie Casino. You really think you are a mob wife. She made Tom seem like Sam Rothstein and she's Ginger. Girl, goodbye. I'm not about to play with you. I am done with you. She's like, I will be okay, but just not right now. So honey, they all rubbing her and woe is me and Erika, it's gonna be fine. Erika is a lie, honey, and now she's playing in everyone's faces. They're afraid to question her, but next week, honey, Sutton will, and she is going to be pissed, honey. But Sutton ain't never scared. Baby, Sutton getting the mess started this season, and I love it. Then at the end, in true Rinna fashion, she lets us know once again that her daughter is dating Scott Disick. Child, and that was the end of the episode. Let me tell y'all something, honey. I'm going to say this. I do not know who Erika's acting coach is, but honey, they need to be fired immediately. Do you hear me? Honey, fire them just the way you did that Glam Squad. And we could tell because some of these confessionals were looking like you just started doing makeup yesterday. Child, please comment down below, like, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you thought of the cliff heard round the world. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.